This is going to be a VOD review of Game 1 HLE versus KT, because I really want to see how LCK has been using different champions to shut down Smolder, because I come from the LPL, and the LPL has typically had really, really good Smolder gameplay.
Taking a look in on TF, Smolder, Talia, Cassante.
Let's get that a little bit quieter.
Where is the Smolder going to turn up?
So the center's banned.
Taken away now.
Smolder has not been locked in just yet. A lot of bot lane bans, a lot of lane dominant bot lane picks banned. He's still got Varus available. And Varus is very, very lane dominant. Probably the most lane dominant champion. So the Maokai's gone as well, great multi-path flex, and the Varus is locked in. So now this is what we saw just in the game that we were casting just now between RNG and TT, where we saw Varus locked in very early, and then actually we saw that on the other side of things, RNG did not want to lock in Smolder, they wanted to lock in Kalista. Obviously, in this case, the Kalista's banned, so it's a very different draft. But Varus is kind of the de facto best laning champion, besides maybe the Ashe as well. So we have the Smolder coming through. So now what do you do to set up the Smolder shutdown? You take away this Talia. This is important, because now let's just... I think this is a big takeaway. So Talia can roam bot lane. Talia can roam bot lane. You don't want to give Talia on 2-3, because if you have a lane dominant Varus and you have a Talia ulting towards bot lane, you're just gonna be dove on repeat. If this is 50 minutes, we will do a lot of 50. Oh god, it does look like it's game. Where are we at now? This looks like quite a long game. Yeah. Yeah, this goes to Elder from basing on the previews. It's gonna be a long game. Okay, so now you have a Yone which can be flexed between mid and top. Zek is obviously a great player of it too. You have a melee synergy with Sejuani, so now you can potentially even snowball through top side. So you're not even now you don't even have to go towards you don't even have to go towards bot lane dives now or something like that. You can actually play around top side and shut down the Talia. Yeah, because Yone Sejuani is very good into Talia. You're kind of expecting Talia to die at some point. Now the Vi allows you to fight a little bit in the 2v2, because if you catch out the Yone, it's a bit awkward. Well, but even then, the problem is here, right? Yone has a number of ways to avoid Vi. You get the E pop back, you get the R going out as well, so even if Vi targets an ult on you, there's a chance that Yone can get out, or at least escape to a distance where Talia can't confidently combo you. So that's not awesome in regards to mid-jungle 2v2 from Cherishik and BDD. BDD is a great Talia player, one of the greatest of all time, but also that just feels like it is... not awesome, actually. Yeah, so now HLE banning away some frontline options, so because they have quite a heavy dive combo, they don't want to have someone that can just survive the dive no matter what, which is someone like the Cassante, because Cassante just presses W and they don't really care about Yone and Sejuani, he just tanks it all for forever. This is 14-3 as well, so it's not before... I think Cassante's still strong in this patch.
A lot of power in that pick, especially paired up with the on-hit Varus. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what Beryl's going to opt in for here. I hope it's not something like Emilio, but I think
Aatrox still available. I think that's valuable for both teams right now. I think Aatrox with lethality is actually quite good versus Yone if it goes in towards top lane. Oh yeah, I'm kind of assuming that that was going to be the Yone Sejuani 2v2. I guess you can save that potentially. Well, I mean, it's against the Talia. You can maybe... You shouldn't flex it top lane, like, not blind. So Alice has come through. Now, Alistair is important for Smolder because very hard to dive. If you are going to shut down a Smolder, you need to dive him, because he can always farm if not dive. So because you have the Alistair, which is really hard to dive, you can't shut down Smolder as easily. It's not impossible, but it's hard. So what this means is that Beryl can kind of stick around and stop people getting huge value onto Smolder.
Not that much laning power, especially level 1, you can be a bit punished.
So what you're hoping is Vi and Talia can kind of help in terms of their roaming duo as well. They can help any of these big players which come bot side, and Alistair can buy enough time for Talia and Vi to turn up. Rakan's really good at forcing fights in his own way though. Also another thing, you can go towards the poke Varus because you have an AD carry DPS in terms of the Yone and the Gnar now as well. Gnar's going to have potential side lane threat, depends what you lock in. It makes it harder to lock in... Well, you can't lock in a Cassante anyway. You might just go Aatrox. I think Aatrox is fine versus Gnar. Wouldn't Tom be better here? No, because Tom has less lane pressure unless you have a Senna. I think Alistair has really good lane presence, brings you engage for the team as well, which would kind of be lacking if it was just Vi on the other side. I think Alistair has a lot more lane presence. He's just so hard to dive, man. He's much more disruptive than a Tahm Kenshiro dive early on before level 6. Because if you try and dive the Alistair and the Smolder, Alistair can kind of just like walk up in front of the turret, just like headbutt you away, pull you away. He buys more time than Tahm Kench. You would have to land like a W knockup, which obviously you can interrupt as well. It's much harder to like interrupt as the Tahm Kench. Yeah, I need to move my camera down now. That is move the camera. If you don't know. The alpaca, that's great. Let me just make sure the camera's a little bit slow. Slimmer. So I don't cover as much of the screen. Alrighty. See how they do this. So you have Smolder stacking on one side, you have really aggressive dive potential on the other. So big things. So this is going to be poke. I'll clear some of this off the screen. So this is poke. So you outrange. And that's important because you outrange the Taliyah who hates being poked and Smolder who hates being poked as well until he gets to... Smolder doesn't really get that much sustain in his kit. So, whereas some AD carries do, so... I mean, something like a Xayah, her relationship with poke changes quite a lot when you get a Bloodthirster. But the thing is, you can do that third on Xayah. On Smolder, well... On Smolder, you kind of... You need it, like, fourth, really. Maybe you can get a third in this game, but you always need, like... Essence Reaver Shojin, I feel like that's the build right now. There is an argument, actually. You know, there's actually an argument to go Iceborne. If you go Iceborne Gauntlet, which is actually a very good item on Smolder, it still gives you cooldown reduction. It gives you so much magic that, like, resist against a load of physical damage on this team. I actually think Iceborne could be really good for depth. Because you already have good damage from the rest of your team. Even Pyroshi can bring in some damage as well. It stops you from being, like, the game-ending threat as early. But I actually think that that saves you from being poked out and burst out, potentially. I don't think Deft will go it, but I just want to highlight that. The fact that Iceborne could be quite useful here. Sejuani is thick if you look at it closely. Buddy, do you look at all champions as, like, how wide their thighs are? I'm not judging, but, like, that's a question. So, Zeka's into the Taliyah. As we said, when it gets to kind of like post 6 and you've got the Taliyah Vi combo potentially coming in, Yone's actually quite good versus that. Because he can like R out, he can E out as well, and he can just Q as well out of a lot of situations. There's a lot of ways to avoid that combo. And another thing here too is if you have something like a Cassante or a Nautilus or something like that, when you are looking for a fight on top of the Smolder, Smolder gets to get a decent amount of damage on you quite early into a fight. If you're playing around a Sejuani ultimate, Yone getting a flank, Rakan flashing in for a combo, I don't think Smolder gets that much turnaround damage. Not that much. Combo from Barrel? Yeah, okay. I don't know. Stoner and Sivir are the only two for me. Alright. I can believe in your loyalty. HLE also have huge side laning advantages. I mean, oh god, it pulls himself back through the minefield. Ouchie. But Gnar can very much win out against the Aatrox. I mean, it's not too bad. I think the Aatrox is actually okay. He's gone for the Comet as well, because if you get Comet procs onto Gnar, it feels awful. It's what you do against ranged champions as Aatrox, because you're kind of a half-ranged champion. Because your Q is such long range that you can trade through the wave and get Comet and Scorch onto them. Means you're very good at poking people out in lane and getting good team fight, getting laning value. Should Varus Gate be getting pushed like this, or did they misplay? You know what? That's a great question. What happened to him? He stacked up the wave early on. What's happening with jungle pathing? Oh no, it's because Peanut's pathing topside. Because if he's pathing topside, then you don't want the push. You want the wave safely at your turret. So then they let the wave come into them safely. They let it crash, and then they try and get as much of a good trade as they can to try and run them down as possible. You don't have Ghost and Viper. That's a really powerful thing to use when you're looking for rundown plays. See that they're trying to crash in. Beryl does that combo to try and crash the wave, and then immediately he loses like a load of HP. But you're not going to have your jungler down here for bot side 3v3. It's not about bot side 3v3. When you have Sejuani with Yone, you can very much look for mid jungle 2v2s, and sometimes around Mega Gnar as well. I actually think that that's fine. As much as we've talked about how shutting Smolder down is very important, I think that in this game, you have a lot of topside options from Sejuani because you do have, you know, 1.5 melee synergies to go towards, and the bot lane can also do quite well too. They're managing to get a slow crush back. If the light managed to stop that back, that would have been quite important, because Deft would have been in a very difficult position to trade against the wave crash now. Whereas now, he's going to be able to get in towards next wave pretty fine. Although, while this is happening, you know, Doran has overpushed now, and he doesn't have jungle on top side, and you can see that KT actually, because of the push they did get on bot side, they had like 3 wards around here, like in this kind of area, including the one which I've just cut out as well. There would have been like 3 around here. So that was potentially quite dangerous, because Peanut just showed on bot side, and Peanut, though he is the battle ward jungle inventor, is not immune to that as well. And if you see the enemy jungle, as I'm going to continually say on these VOD reviews, jungle's time and attention and their presence is the most important thing in League of Legends, the most valuable thing in League of Legends. If you are seen, you are less valuable, because people know where you are. It's the what if which makes things very, very difficult. Because he was on bot side, it meant that Doran potentially could get ganked, and he was lucky to get out there. And Perfect, if Perfect gets a laning lead, that's kind of nasty, because it means they actually can't play as slow and look for the perfect angle. It means that Perfect can also then be very, very powerful and look towards... Ooh, nice combo there from Beryl and Deft. Got the double W from Smolder, because it does the little explosion onto both of them, which is nice. Why did Riot remove Shield Pen from Shadow Flame? Because the Shield Pen wasn't actually what you bought that item for. It was a very counterintuitive item. You didn't buy it. You bought it because it was really good AP and it was really good just... Yeah, you just bought it because it has really good AP and it's flat pen. Okay, so now this is what we're saying in terms of like the Talia being a takeaway in terms of diving bot lane. The problem is, I think that Peanut showing himself earlier on bot side here. He showed himself going to bot side. Did he just show himself going top side as well? Where was he seen? Where was the last time he was seen? He was spotted going on his Grump. Yeah, he's spotted like right here on his Grump. Good jungle vision from KT. Really good jungle vision from KT. Gotta track the enemy jungle, folks. Jungle tracking, very important. Because of that, you call the play to go bot side. BDG knows there's a reset coming from mid lane. He'll be seen on the ward here as well. Completely easy dive towards bot side. You're not able to teleport either. No defense. This is bad from HLE. Come on, that's so lazy. You have no vision on mid. You don't have any jungle vision towards bot side as well. That's lazy as hell. That's bad. But yeah, no, you didn't buy Shadow Flame because it was good against shields. You bought it because it had good stats. The passive felt really crap, actually, on the whole, which was kind of meh. Noah, Andy, Frol, King Jason, and Sputgop as well. Thanks for the follows, I appreciate it. And Temusian Foxes. Or Temesian Foxes. And Growl. All of you. Thanks for the follows today. Now, hang on. I gotta get back to this. I was too busy looking at other stuff. I should have been looking at this. Bad, Alex. Bonk. Okay, so this time, KT don't have as much vision. They're not tracking Peanut for one of the first times in this game. He has level 6, that's a problem. You've just used Vi level 6 as well, so jungle disparity is really important this way. And Beryl's doing what Viper and Delight just did in the last play as well, which is just... Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have, like, his ult, so there's no way he can play towards that. It's too early in the game. That's lazy of Beryl. Both these bot lanes have actually been quite lazy in regards to that. But though, I mean... I think the first play was probably better orchestrated by KT. They called it like a minute in advance when Peanut showed on Grump, and they kind of orchestrated the dive bot lane. Got push in mid lane. Knew that Sejuani wasn't going to be on the side of the map. Knew that that Yone was on a reset. This, though, is a bit of a freebie to give back. You just made a really good play bot side. That's a shame. That's a shame. Because it means that Smolder kind of like doesn't get presence in the bot lane for a little bit. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, he gets to farm at least. Again, it's very hard to kind of force Smolder to not farm. More Edge of Night, other shield items, how do we make them useless? Well, a lot of the time the shield items, the problem is not the shields, is actually... Well, the, Edge of Night doesn't have a shield, that has a spell shield, and Shadow Flame doesn't work on spell shields. Well, I never used to. It was on actual shields. But most of the time, if they have shields, you want actually Void Staff, because most of the time they're building defensively against you. If they have magic resistant shields, you want Void Staff instead a lot of the time. Well, you used to. Obviously now it's different. I think Shadow Flame's new passive is better. I think it's more fun. I think it's more interactive. I like going like Ignite with like DOT champions and stuff like that. It means that the Shadow Flame has really unexpected burst damage. Hey Sam, what's up? Okay, alright. Enjoy. Ooh, nice. I like that. Yeah. I'm watching to see how LCK beats Smolder. So he's gone towards the Essence Reaver first. Problem is, Doran is actually building up a CS lead now. and getting plates. So there will be a side lane Gnar advantage. You have 2 grubs to 3. It's not the worst thing in terms of grubs. Doran's just stepping all over him. And not in a fun way. And now you have some really big issues here. You do have exhaust and ult. That's pretty good for buying time. All summoners and ult on deft. Everything's up for these two as well. You don't have Profane Hydra, which is a huge spike for Perfect. It's too early in the game for that. A little. So if you're fighting around early dragons, feels like HLE can take it a little bit slower. I think they're fine to kind of like walk towards side lanes and get some gold if possible. KT need to have immaculate flank vision. If you get on top of the Smolder, you can actually get on top of the Smolder with this comp. You have a lot of backline access. And I think HLE, they'd rather stay on top side if possible. And in lanes, yeah, they don't have the vision for this. They don't have the vision, they don't have the items just out. This is not something we always see from LPL. We will sometimes just fight anyway, even though we don't have items, and then just die. They seal the deal, and Dynamo, thanks for the follows, I appreciate it. And because HLE didn't commit to bot side, they commit to an area where they can get vision control. And you can see that, ooh, Piochi's lucky to get away with it. And again, Sejuani Yone, very dangerous combo. Melee synergy, you can lead with the ult as well and just get a huge amount of burst damage. You don't even have one item yet from Zaka, that's where things get really, really nasty. Def getting a solo turret though, a lot of gold in the Smolder, which is a problem. I don't think it's that easy for Def to do damage in this combo comparatively. I think that what you can do is commit an ult very well into the Vitalier combo. If you go forward with the Vitalier combo, the Smolder can throw the ult over as well. Or if Alistair gets a good combo as well, the Smolder can get lots of value by ulting forwards. He did go for the Iceborne Gauntlet, which I had a couple of worries about, because you're against the Poke Varus, you're against full AD threats mostly across the board. Hang on. Hello? Ooh, god. PC froze for a second there, that was fun. We're good? I think we're good. Wow, that was fun. I think we're good. I think we're fine, folks. Are we fine?
Yeah, that's still just having that scaling mindset.
I think we're okay. Everything okay? I think we're okay. Just about, jeez. Like that person. Nice. Storm Surge equals Collector, Shadow Flame equals Infinity Edge. Nah, Infinity Edge is Death Cap. Death Cap is Infinity Edge. That's like your multiplier. That's your multiplier. That's your multiplier. Okay, I think my OBS treated me a little bit weirdly there. So if there was a problem in the video, that would be why.
If we look at the games and we think it's a bit off, we'll just change our judgment, you know?
Okay, right, so what's happening on this top side of the map? Hang on, my laptop's now. Okay, cool, we're fine. Had a couple of tech issues on my side. So, Peanuts off of vision again. How much vision does KT have in the enemy jungle? They have 1 around the back of red buff. I think that doesn't see Raptors. You don't know whether he's on Raptors, but you know if he's going into bot river to try and potentially help Doran on bot side. But Zeka's pushing on top side. You know that it's likely if Zeka's pushing in top side that there's someone around to respond. You know the Varus is in mid lane. The light's on reset, so it has to be Peanuts. You know he's there at some point. So you're looking around topside as well. Pioche goes in, steals a vision plant, that's fine, trying to get some topside vision to stop Yone being able to push up with impunity. Okay, so Pioche... Okay, so you're trying to use the Talia Vi combo with the Smolder roll over the top. I think that's a fun combo, it's good. Peanut spotted out on blue ward. Pioche goes forward, goes on to Zeka, who uses his Q3 to get... Wow, that's nasty from Zeka actually, watch this. Oh, he cancels the interrupt part of the Viol with a Q3, so he can't even get comboed by BDD. That's so well played from Zeka, actually. That's really well played. Okay, alright. That's nice. So then, even with the Smolder ult coming over the top, it doesn't hit anything. The combo doesn't land afterwards. That's a problem. So you've wasted, like, 2 big ults on that. And you've used nothing on the side of HLE besides Sejuani ult, which is fine. You can still use the Sejuani combo here. Yeah. Anyway. So Pioche... It's like... He was not pleased to see them in his jungle. Yeah. So Doran's getting himself even more side lane advantage, solo Terran bot side. Perfect has Profane Hydra now, though, so he can be a flank threat. He's not going to win in side lanes. He can clear waves, though, mostly. But he can potentially be a flanking threat. To be a flanking threat, you need a vision. You need a ward for him to teleport onto. I think it's hard to naturally walk into flank positions when you don't have a winning side lane. Yeah, that was a nice Yone Q3. I don't think he dies anyway, actually. I think at worst you're blowing flash. I don't think you can one-shot him there. BDD has Zhonya's. Deft has his two core items. Again, I did call out that maybe you go for a nice one instead of the Essence Reaver because it's just better stats against poke comps and then full burst. But I think he just wants to do more damage. Ooh, okay, what happens here? Why are you here? So, Vi spots Zeka. And you spot everyone else in mid lane. Ah, Delight, buddy. Delight's a fantastic Rakan, but like, just don't do like this. He doesn't have anyone nearby. Way overpushed from there. Way overpushed. Okay, Varusol misses. That's kind of big. Even though you've got the Vitalier combo down. Ah, Stolen Dragon. Owie. Teleport back towards the side lane, so actually don't get side lane advantage. They lose a kill, they lose Dragon. Come on. And what this means is that you're just giving more time for the Smolder to scale, more time for the Taliyah to get to items too. You haven't managed to get ahead with the Yone. You haven't managed to get ahead with the Varus. In LPL, this is game over. So how the hell does the Varus try and like work against the Smolder here? Does it work? I actually don't know whether they win this. I presume they do because I've heard that KT have looked quite bad recently. But oh, they've had bad results recently. Peanut's not really been able to make... Ooh, okay, it's mid lane dive. What happened there? They 3-man mid. There is a teleport ward from Perfect, which could potentially look for a fight here. Daft gets out for free, that's nice. You know, as soon as that ult is fired in, I would have potentially teleported in as Perfect. I think that would have been big. Because you don't have any ults now from HLE. But I guess you don't have ults on the side of KT either. Or, no, you don't have World Ender. If you don't have World Ender, you can't do that. That's my bad. I should have checked the freaking Aatrox ultimate.
The fact that the game has gone so slowly, 3 kills in 20 minutes, 1,000 gold lead for Smolder, it's definitely not how they want things to be panning out. Oh dear. And there is a lead for Doran, so that is certainly good news. And I feel like if a fight ever does go in the way that Armalite Esports wants it to, like, they get Delight in there on a flank angle, quick misses everyone together, and then they all get, like,
the flank angle. The flangle.
Okay,
Okay, so you're going shield by second on Zeka. I guess that makes sense to a certain degree. It means that you're less likely to die to the Vitalier combo. It means that you're unpickable to the Vitalier mostly. You can die. I mean, you're not infinite hyper tank, but it makes it much harder for you to be a prime target for that. I think Gnar is less about being near the Vitalier, it's more about where whether you're mini Gnar or mega Gnar or not. So if you're mini Gnar, you need to be respectful, if not elsewhere. You don't have... Oh no, so you do have okay Baron damage when Yone's there, but you don't have it when Varus is there. Varus is not great at taking Baron down in terms of DPS. He needs to... Well, rather, unless he's on hit. If he's poked, then it's less good.
They only have one dragon. It's a Chemtech soul. If KT don't
right.
have to contest another dragon for like 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean 16 minutes.
Deft is just stacking up for free. That's kind of a problem. He's going Fire Cannon next as well, which means that it is... Even though HLE can engage from quite a long way away, Fire Cannon means that it is much more likely for Deft to get like a cheeky Q and start getting some decent damage down. Once you get Q up once you get Q up time as Smolder, the game is very over. Something like Fire Cannon helps you get those extra ones in to kind of keep yourself getting damage down. It's nice.
I guess Teemo has existed forever, and so we've known this. Yeah, it seems like it's the dawn of time, you know. Cuteness directly correlates with being terrible to watch and frustrating. Well, there's definitely some frustrating champions.
Dragon spawning in 28 seconds. HLE, not great vision. KT do have some flank vision again. You can see that KT, they're trying to avoid having Aatrox versus Gnar in a side lane. In fact, they're actually trying to avoid having any extended 1v1 in a side lane. Because if Gnar is up against the Aatrox, I think he does win pretty handily, especially with the Triforce Black Cleaver. So KT are kind of like, they're quickly resetting. They're using the Taliyah to instantly wave clear instead of like having someone be kind of stood around there. Now Taliyah he does have teleport. But because KT have kind of been responding to the Gnar, they don't have the best ability to get here early. This is really late, actually. This is kind of slow from KT. So you let this top wave kind of go into turret. He answers now. Perfect's not in a great position either. There's no great flanking ward. So KT don't have great vision here to allow their Aatrox to be the champion he wants to be. Is he teleporting into the fight or is he just coming straight down the middle? He's coming straight down the middle. So there's no instant play around here. Yone, Sildrani actually take down objectives very, very quickly. Varus ult hits, forces the Alistar ult very quickly. Good Smolder ult. Viper's in not a bad position, though. Because no one's really going on to Viper. Wow, it's a good arrow from Viper. But you've used BDD Flash for this, which is kind of meh. Flash away from the combo from Doran, that's nice. Now he can get himself towards Mega Gnar, potentially. Nasty that he isn't. He would love to have, like, Flash to get, like, a Flash Mega Gnar. Zekka's got his shield bow up already. Good CC chain, exhaust onto him as well. Oh, wowie. And Viper just gets to play from beyond range. What the fuck is Deft doing in this fight? Let's look at this fight from the perspective of Deft as well. He gets Honey Fruit for an extra shield. Gets a W. His W's down. He needs to walk back because the Varus ult would root him. Calls an ult in an okay point. Yeah, so he's trying. So he uses E to reposition over the wall. That's an important thing with that, particularly around dragon fights. Actually, Def can position over this wall really, really well. Hey, Munch. Hey, thanks for the raid as well. That's really cool of you. We did all the LPL games today, so we're doing. We had a question of, because I saw your tweet as well, Munchballs, in terms of all my homies hate Smolder. We're trying to look at how HLE beat Smolder in LCK, because we don't do that in LPL. We don't do that. I'm sure you're about as sick as it is me. So Deft actually gets some okay queue uptime here, but like, what does he? Gets a little bit onto Pina. He's not hitting any of the really important people right now. He has to back off and be wary of Zekka engaging, but I think his team does a good job appealing for him. I wonder if Def can trust his front line to interrupt Zekka a bit more, and maybe just play around his flash defensively, because I feel like he should be in position to kill Zekka here. Because if Deft is here for like an auto Q and like if he gets like another auto in there, I think maybe he kills. That buys enough time for Doran to get in. Again, I feel like... Wait, how does Deft blow his cleanse and his flash here? So Deft comes in now. Oh, he gets... Oh, come on. He doesn't even have flash. Deft. May I present topic 1? No flash. He just flashed away from a combo. I went and watched the LNG win too, and it was just pure snowball elsewhere. It wasn't really conclusive. Yeah, so I'm trying to see basically with HLE, they have really good snap engage from like the Sejuani Yone. There's no one really like a Cassante or an Udi that this guy's just going to sit and just permanently tap Q on. Everyone, by the time the fight started, it feels like you don't have that much space. But if this was Ruler playing Smolder in this fight, he uses his flash and his cleanse much, much better. He has no flash. He has no flash and he gets right on top of Deft. Just flash out immediately. Just, you've positioned poorly. I don't think Deft uses his summoners very well here at all. He could have killed Zekka. There's no way. There is no way that Doran gets the flash and cleanse out of Deft for free here. That is so poor. That is so poor, actually. For a player the caliber of Deft, I expect so much better. And actually, I think that BDD forced Doran's flash for free. BDD forced Doran's flash for free. Beryl stopped Yone's combo for free as well. That's a really bad error. But like both of these guys had their combos interrupted. You should be flat. If it was a flash Mega Gnar, I can understand that. If it was like a full health Yone who hadn't been like completely decked by the time he was kind of coming into the fight, I could understand it. Deft, your whole team has set you up for success here. How does this happen? And even then, how many more do they get from this? Oh my god, that's bad from Zekka. So Viper gets another one here? Does he get another one here? Does he get another Q? Oh, Beryl, no. No, Beryl, no. Beryl, no. Ah, Beryl. He doesn't get it. He doesn't have the full combo. Yeah, honestly, this should... He does have the stacks here now. Does he kill him? No, he doesn't get the burn, I don't think. Yeah, honestly, a lot of that fight is actually on Deft playing it badly. Which is this is a bad thing, because my question was, how did HLE beat Smolder? Smolder didn't play well that fight. It's a large part of it. But look how many of the important disruption tools onto Smolder are used. Like, misused. Perfect doesn't have a flank. Oh no, that's different. But like, you don't have a flank from anyone here. You don't have your Vice Flair combo working out that well. But you have a couple of really important things here. The first important thing is flash from Gnar blown immediately before he can get in position for Mega Gnar. That's one thing. Next thing, Zeka. He has flash, he has ult immediately decked. Exhaust put onto him as well. The two solo laners can't affect the Smolder. That is a huge misplay from Deft, man. Just believe... I think that Deft needs to believe in his team a lot more and then just play really on the edge with his flash. Flashing cleanse. The fact that he gets caught by that Mega Gnar is actually unforgivable, by the way. Or rather, getting caught with that flash and not really getting enough done. This should have been such a clean victory. As it happens, they get some kills, but it's not that much. Okay, so what's happening here? We didn't get the setup for this fight. I hate replays in important moments. So we do see this here. I can maybe move my camera just to like show you some of the setup as well. Because like, right, what's here? What can we tell from this blurry picture-in-picture? What can we tell with this? So, after the deaths from KT, they're not able to have presence around Baron and get wards because they lost too many kills on the back end of it. Because they have too many kills on the back end of it, there's a threat of a Baron start because they don't know they don't have vision here. So you got two people walking in. So it's a fight over Baron and a bit of a Baron bait from HLE. So let's see how this works out. I think that's the context of it.
It definitely does get a bit funky. And I feel like
Okay.
as well,
So you got Beryl who has ult again. He pops it early, tries to be as good frontline as possible. Viper has the range, but so does Deft at this point. What is Doran doing? What's Doran doing here? He has no Mega Gnar though. And he has no flash. You have no Mega Gnar. You have no power here. Plus you don't have the vision to know when people are coming into you. It's full HP dude there. You have the potential of like one of the things about Smolder ult, very low cooldown. That's going to be extra damage on. BDD, if any CC hit that happens near him, he's on, you know, 2.5 items now. Very, very strong. Very greedy from Doran. Is this just going to be a tale of people making misplays rather than us actually seeing a style to beat Smolder? Zeka dives into Deft there, which is a problem, because he actually has huge damage. Oh, Jesus Christ, he gets hit with this Q splash. Oh, come on. That's just not knowing how to play against Smolder. That's just not having the muscle memory. You don't. It's like playing as Misfortune. Misfortune Q can bounce to you. That's just, yeah. And this is also Rapid Fire Cannon as well. Rapid Fire Cannon allows you to get much higher Q uptime on Smolder, particularly because you're quite a mobile champion with your E as well. You get to move around quite a bit and look for your next energized auto. Now, even though KT gave up a load of kills with the Dragon, which they shouldn't have done, and they didn't capitalize as well as they did, and they gave up vision control around Baron, they end up winning the fight. And actually, oh, for God's sake. Alright, LPL's winning MSI, he says cheekily, knowing these are not their best teams.
For the most part, patiently wait until Smolder got 225 stats. That is just mind-blowing to me. Well, we know that they waited. I don't know how patient they were the whole time.
I'm joking.
Just wait the whole time. Couple more minutes, and yeah, they tried to go for a pick on Barrel.
But this is so disrespectful from Gnar, actually. The kill onto Delight is an extra bonus. He wasn't going to be able to fight anyway. It wouldn't have affected the Baron, but it's just like, what are you doing there, buddy? 3 items onto poke Varus now. No one really can stop the Varus from doing damage. Deft not taking a huge amount there. Okay. Combo. God damn. That's a bit far from Pyoshik. Yeah, that's too far, man. Hang on, where the hell is this happening? Why is this happening? So KT using the rest of the Baron buff to try and like just slam it down mid lane. Deft has Rapid Fire Cannon again, makes it really easy to get the burn on him and just get those tap Qs. Smolder all over the top, but it's not a full... I mean, Pyoshik just goes way too far. What the hell is Pyoshik doing, actually? And because you don't have a big part of your CC combo now in terms of Pyoshik, if you now have... So picture this, right? If you have like a flash Rakan ult in at this point, one of the tools to counter-engage is gone. So typically when Rakan goes in, you try and disrupt the combo. This is something that 369 would do an awful lot last year. Worn Out, thanks for the follow, by the way. And Directed Donut, thanks, folks. And everyone that came from Munter's stream, I hope that his LPL co-stream was good. We did our own LPL cast as well, so we were enjoying the game same time as you guys, and we hoped you enjoyed it over there too. But talking about LPL, one of the best things we saw from JDG last year, who are arguably the best roster of all time, they're an incredible roster last year, and I love the way that they played. When you had an engage happening, say you have Delight flashing in, one of the best things you can do is immediately all in the other team. So you have someone like 369 throwing a Grag Assault at the enemy team. You have him standing in front of you and just holding Cassante W. And whenever you try and engage on top of what, say in this case, Delight was doing, you have someone flying at Viper, so Viper can't follow up. That's typically what you're looking to be doing. That's what you're meant to be doing. Now, the problem is, who can do that? You have Beryl, who can sometimes do that, but he doesn't have Flash. Pyosik can do that with a Q ult. He can pretty much always do that. It's really hard now in situations like this, and we'll see if it's actually capitalized on at this point. Maybe, it might not be the case. I think that actually, particularly without the Varus ult, is something. But, like, it just means that when Pyosik is down, it means that it is much harder to protect your carries. And I'm just looking at Delight now, potentially looking for a flank. Without the Vi there, it feels like you can really get a good combo off. I mean, if it's Deft in this case as well has Cleanse, it's a little harder, but it's just a skill set, which is just kind of fun. Pyosik missed time to CC chain. Peanut just mashed Q with the hope and a prayer. Yeah, maybe. But he also has Merc Treads, so it's much harder to do that, right? He has Merc Treads. If it's against a non-Merc Treads, that hits, but Tenacity makes a hell of a lot of difference. He'll also have some Tenacity from runes as well, potentially as well. Actually, that's a good point. Minor rune shards have changed now, so he might have some Tenacity in runes. I didn't check what he had in terms of minor runes. Alright, speed it up again. Frozen Heart from Deft, that's good. So he actually has some extra armor now, which is nice, and it means that it's harder for him to get dove by Yone. Yeah, we already talked about this. It's just a bit of a mistiming from Pyosik, but it leaves the team in an odd spot. Dragon's alive. So what are we looking for now? Once again, Perfect is not really in a flanking position as the Aatrox. You'd love to be. If you can get on top of the Varus, I think it makes a huge difference. I just slows down. Deft has a lot of stacks. He has 4 items. BDD's not in a position to ult anyone off from the team. HLE are not going through mid. They're going through bot instead. Doran's trying to stack up Mega. He does have Flash again now. They really just try and burn this though. You don't have... If you took this a bit slower, maybe you could wall them off. I mean, KT have all their ultimates. They're head in gold. They have a 4-item Smolder. You can take this slowly. There's no way that HLE has gotten onto your side of the map to get flanking wards. So you're not going to have Zeka coming in from a flank easily. You're not going to have Doran or Zeka being able to... Or Delight coming in from a flank. Why are you doing this so fast? Gets a really good smite. Peanut still has Flash. Delight gets the big combo because... Yeah. So what does Pyosik do with his ult? Again, it feels like HLE are taking this way too fast and they're not checking all of the engaged threats. So, Pyosik uses his Q. Where does he use his ult? He uses his ult now. So Delight realizes, no ults, no minefields, no ults, oh no combo, no minefield, no ults, not in the picture. There is nothing stopping Delight now. This is, KT vastly misused their team fighting tools here. Doran isn't caught either, he has Flash. So what you're gonna have, oh my god. Deft maybe flashes out, but yeah, so you've got the like the Mega Gnar afterwards as well. Zeka gets to jump forwards again. This is awful team fighting from KT. Genuinely awful. Viper dies, but whatever. If Viper dies in isolation, that's fine, but like you don't care. Really, really poor allocation of tools by KT. How does Smolder play this now? Your whole team, which is meant to be peeling for you, has completely wasted every single combo they have after massively over-engaging around that dragon. That's quite disappointing, actually. First death for Smolder in the game, and it's because... So I think in the dragon fight before this, Def misplayed. He should have... His team stopped all of the disruptive plays going on towards him, and I think he misused his Flash and his ultimate by getting caught by a Mega Gnar combo without Flash. I think he was greedy, trying to think that his E could get him away with a flap. This time though, I think his team completely misplayed that dragon. You didn't have to rush it. You didn't have the Talia wall in place. You misused all of your peel, and you just completely blasted because Delight just waited a little bit. It wasn't even that hard for Delight. So Doran's jump forwards. You have Mini Gnar there right now. The Sejuani ult here is also quite nasty as well. So Sejuani ult's here. And it's just like slowing these two from getting into a prime position. Perfect's not in a great position either just yet. So when does Perfect enter this fight? A little bit later. He waits for Viper to go back up. But he's not hitting... I mean, he's hitting Viper, which is fine. But it's just not... It's too fast. KT are playing this way too fast. Wait a little bit longer. Wait for Talia to get in position. Wait for rapid fire cannon. Maybe you're worried about, like, Poke Varus doing huge work. But I just don't think that it's worth just flipping it like that. So now you're behind in gold. Soul Point.
I think a big thing is that Zeka still has flash, and no one on KT has flash. So
And actually in this game it feels like Soul Point's really big because you're looking at the Smolder burn being particularly big too. It means that below 50% of HP, the burn from Smolder is going to take a lot less out of you, and it's a lot less threat of execute. Of course, you don't get to use the last bit of your HP bar, which is part of what the Chemtech is very good for, but it's still quite nice when you're looking at a lot of the burn damage and stuff like that being used to finish off kills from KT with the Leandries as well. And now because HLE won the fight, they have more deep vision than they've had in a long time now. 3 items on BDD is nice. Interested to see what Deft goes as his next item. I'd imagine it's going to be Lord Dominate's Regards. Kind of has to be, right? Yeah. Zeka's fine in a side lane now. He's level 18 with 4 items and Infinity Edge Zione. Yep, one fight from him can end this game. While all this is happening, you have Zeka in one side lane, Gnar potentially threatening another. Hang on, this is important. We're forcing Alistair ult for free. How did this happen? I mean, you've given up Baron Vision. Doran stacking up his Mega Gnar, so he has threat of jumping in for that. But you don't really have the. You need to get a ward on Baron. You do. This sucks now for KT because you've lost that big fight when you shouldn't have. And now suddenly, Beryl has no CC. He has no ultimate. He can't be a frontline. The frontline from KT is now gone. Because you don't have a true tank. Vi is not a tank either. Your front line, quote unquote, is, well, or as also known as stuff which HLE don't want to be damaging / stops them from damaging, is Vi disrupting the backline and Perfect disrupting the backline. Neither of them are in position to do so right now. They don't have vision behind HLE to get a good teleport on. Perfect is not in position. Perfect has not been in position for most of this game. Delight is off of vision, and it's a huge fucking wombo combo where the only to win the game. Deft gets a lot of damage though. Oh, Deft's not caught in the great part of the engage now. Oh, so they don't reach the Smolder. So Doran dies. Oh, okay, right. Can Zeka get anything more? Well, I mean, this is what happens when the Smolder can actually team fight. BDD has maybe gone too far now. Viper's stepping him. Oh my god, he absolutely steps all over him. God damn, Viper still has flash as well. Yeah, Viper diff. Great E to slow. So this is important too. We saw this in the last game of the LPL that we were watching as well in terms of the RNG TT game. Varus E slow is really obnoxious when you're trying to reposition. Deft, no. That's so sad. Yeah, this is a number of different mistakes from KT. What goes wrong in this one? You don't catch Daft in the initial CC. That's fine. Or rather, like, that's really good for KT. It's not good for HLE. Ult goes across a load of them. You got Q splash damage starting to take on a lot of them too. Guess he uses E to chase forward. He doesn't have Ghost, so he can't run down for forever. I wonder if BDD should have hopped off the other way. BDD, if you could hop off that way, that would have been really helpful. Because I don't think you want to go melee range with the Sejuani. That's a problem. Because it also means he doesn't have to Q. He can just immediately auto-attack you and get his passive down as well. So that delays you. What happens with Perfect? Perfect's had a bad game, actually. He doesn't have flash right now. Again, this is not tanky Aatrox. You stay tanky by doing so much damage in your world ender that you regen through things. Zeka gets right on top of him with a 4-item Yone. He has GA as well. Stacks up his Q, doesn't kill with the Q, kills with E pop back, gets the extra CC in. Deft doesn't have Ghost, so he can't step that. Yeah. Is there anything else they could have done here? When is this? I think the problem is, so KT kind of get in their own heads here. You've lost your smite, you've lost your front line. If you leave this fight right here, Baron's gone. If Baron's gone, that sucks. Because that Baron would also tide HLE over to the next dragon as well. They take it, reset, and get towards dragon in time, which is a problem. I also wonder if BDD should have actually hopped off around here, maybe. If he could hop off here instead of over here. This is bad from BDD. Like, 1v1ing the tank frontline, which it doesn't... I mean, if you kill the jungler, it's pretty big, but... I don't... Wait, does he kill Peanut? No, he doesn't even kill Peanut. No! Oh, that sucks. Because if you kill... If you kill the jungler and maybe someone like Deft is alive, maybe you can... I don't even think if it's just Deft... I think if it's just Deft alive, contesting Baron when the jungler's dead. someone like Viper's Arrow and Zeka getting his next equal, that still kills you. I think KT get in their own heads because they realize, oh bugger, we've lost our jungler and our front line before Baron. We will lose the game if we don't get any kills out of this. That's the problem. So, the initial combo, bad from HLE to not catch Deft, but it does catch the Smite, and the front line, as we said before, had already blown his ultimate very, very early into this. This is such an over chase from KT though, and they make a bad situation even worse. I don't think there's much of a winning scenario there. Maybe if BDD hops off a little early, maybe they can play it. Don't have much faith in that either way now. Chemtech's also claimed, I think in this game, when you're dealing with stuff like the Mini Gnar, you can sometimes survive through to Mega Gnar. That can help a lot when you're dealing with, you know, stuff like the Yone as well, doing similar stuff. GA and Shield Bow, that can help him a lot in terms of Chemtech too. It's less good against the Smolder because he executes you at that HP threshold, which of course means you don't get to use the last bit of your HP bar for the Chemtech Soul. They don't even... Oh my god. How many people jump on him there? Oh, wait, they get a kill back? Hang on, what? How the hell does that happen? So you've got 3.5 items on Peanut, who's now sat at a ridiculous amount of HP. Who's here? Perfect and BDD. It's not even like you don't have damage here. The full combo from BDD, level 18, 3.5 items, just about takes the Kaenic Rook and shield off. Beryl Are you kidding me? Tanks are fair and fun, by the way. Tanks are fair and fun. Beryl pops his ult late. Yeah, I mean, I can forgive KT for thinking they'd do more damage there. But now suddenly you don't have your front line again because Beryl's died. You've got Baron buff coming in. Jeez, man. Well, that kind of sucks. Again, the whole point of this VOD review was how do you beat the Smolder? I feel like KT have beaten themselves. And that sucks, because I was really hoping to find something out in terms of, can you just outrange the Smolder? Can you just do X, Y, Z? This is not a game, this is not a great game for that. Now, maybe I can watch some other games to figure that out at some point, but as it stands, current Smolder, I'm not convinced there are good answers to him. Chemtech Soul or not, that doesn't help. He can flash or ult out, so he's still fine. And, oh my god, the healing, excuse me? Does Delight hit a Q? What happens here? How the hell does he heal? Oh, it's a heal from Viper. Right. It's a level 17 heal. Oh, 359 HP up on top of that. Damn, that's a lot of healing. What the shit? I didn't expect him to heal that much. There was no wait, there was definitely no Rakan healing there, right? No, so that goes up there. So that doesn't affect him. What? Are you kidding me? That's so much healing. What? So they get the GA, but they don't even get half his HP. He doesn't even need to back off if he doesn't want to that hard. Jeez, man. Chemtech boost. It doesn't increase healing though, does it? Wait, does Chemtech Dragon... Does Chemtech Soul gives you the extra damage reduction and the extra damage while you're below 50% HP. Then the dragons themselves give you tenacity, right? I thought it was tenacity. I didn't think it would increase your healing. Also, welcome to the chat. Gay baby carrot. Let's fucking go. LGBT rights. Yeah, that's a lot of healing. What the shit? So they're getting back onto the map. Huge goal advantage. Soul for HLE. Dragon up in, well, Elder in 3, Baron in 2. They probably do need another objective to finish this game. Even though KT have been flubbing it. Just because KT have played around their front line and their peel badly doesn't mean they can't have one fight where that happens. So I think it's fair for HLE to not overforce things. Peanut is really goddamn tanky now, though. Is it heal and shield power? Oh, is it heal shield power as well? I thought it was just the tenacity. If that is the case, then that's yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because that also applies technically to your GA, I'm pretty sure. Because Briar regens at like full HP from that as well. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think GA is coded as a self heal. It happens to Briar as well because Briar doesn't have any regen, but she has a lot of like extra healing to self because of that in recompense. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I will remember that in the future. That's actually quite important. The base Chemtech Dragons and the base Hextech Dragons are both very nice in terms of the stats that they give. No, that's cool. That's good for me to learn as well. Sometimes I forget about, like... Because they changed Chemtech a lot in terms of everything. I didn't quite respect that. So that's fair. Alright, good call out. 6% per stack. God damn, yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so, Baron's been started. Dragon's up in the next 35 seconds. You have teleport from Zeka, so you can even back for the... you're going into Mega now. Okay. So you're going into Mega now. He will be alone at Doran, but... So he has a lot of... So, Doran has a lot of vision in bot side jungle, right? You've got 2 wards here, and you've got a ward down here as well. This pink ward stops there from being a teleport into this brush unseen, and then Nah kind of like gets into a really bad situation there. But you are against the level 18 Talia, which has a really good global, which is a problem. Is Zeka going to teleport down to this? I don't think so. So you're pushing up really far. You see this 3-man unit walk there in mid. As soon as you see them go towards bot side, now you need to be walking, which he is doing. But everyone's got a lot of move speed in late game. Pioshik has level 16. You're looking for the Vitalier combo. Ooh, trying to get out of the Vitalier. Owie. Good Mega Gnar, but all this does is buy time. Problem is, how much is it realistically doing in terms of buying time? Because it means that you still can't fight that well. Which means that maybe... maybe it means you can't fight Elder, which is a bit of an issue. Because actually Doran's been a really big part of the threat onto Deft. He now has a GA, so you now have to kill him twice, even if you do get a good combo onto him. He has Flash and Cleanse. Are they giving up Elder? Are you kidding me? Because of Doran's overshove? Because he disrespected Talia and quick roams from KT? Are we flipping this? I mean, Beryl forced him away. They get the Elder. Oh, Jesus Christ, Doran. You're losing an inhib, but then this means that KT get to stack up even more on Deft. That's on Doran. This should have been the game-ending push. You just got Baron. Doran just overshoved towards it. Doran had teleport as well. Just back off. You had good bot side vision, but it's not enough to stop like the maximum range Talia ult from getting to your lane, and she has a lot of items now. And now you've got Deft. Cleanses out because he walks up too far, trying to look for Qs. Oh, okay, they're flashing in now. So they are looking for a full dive. Now you can get on top, because you have Smite on Vi, you can go in for your combo and you can Smite Vi midway through your ult flight to get rid of the spell shield. Perfect is, you can't flank on it in a turret like this anyway. Oh! So, the GA throws Zeka back, you can just flash back. That's not the target you want, is it? Is that really the target you want? Do you think it's too deep to go for Viper? I guess if you go for Viper, maybe we get what happened earlier in the game and you open up an option for Delight to go in and then now that the peel's gone. Peanuts throws an ult into the middle of things but misses a target. If the slow's there. Delight pops the ult. You get the GA, but you use 4 ults for it. It's late game, so not the longest cooldowns. Okay, wait, what does that? What the heck? So Dev just blew his cleanse. Beryl has to blow his ult after he walks over here as well. Viper's been really kind of annoying. Viper's been getting so much for free with his ults, by the way. His ults have been very good this game. Because I think Viper knows it's more important for Beryl to not have ult than for him to not have ult. Because if you stop Beryl being that big frontline, then KT lose a lot of their ability to disrupt your engage. So for me, that's intelligent by Viper. Viper's been very hard to get a hold of. He's been getting a huge amount of value out of his ult by just continually blowing Beryl's ult. And getting actually kills for it too. It's not just ult for ult, it's ult plus HP as well. I don't know if all this is worth it for a GA. Because you pop back to the E anyway. So Zeka, he's keeping his GA. He has a Maw now as well though. He sold his shield bow for a Maw. Because he has Kraken Slayer and Infetch. Because you don't need the extra crit if you don't need to. Okay, so he's actually more afraid of the Talia than he is of like just the raw everything damage from shield bow. Full items from Daft, as we said, he already had like the GA before this. Now he has a Lord Dominus Regards, so we can do a lot of damage to the Sejuani now even. Doran in a really crap. What is Doran doing on this side lane? So you don't have deep vision, but you have a Rakan in the enemy jungle to help some things. I like how BDD's playing this though, because you can just ult from, you can basically lane gank as the Talia because you have the max rank of the ultimate. It's very long range now. You can see how, look how long range the Talia ult is. It is effectively the whole map. Jesus, man. Yeah, because it literally goes from, if you looked on the minimap, it went from like here to like down here. It's a hell of a long ult. So you can't even walk into lanes properly. So part of this is just like, how much can you blame Doran because you have to be in a lane somewhere. Blows his flash. You've just used Aatrox, Vi, and Talia ults, which is... Wait, how did the Vi ult not work out? Okay. Oh, okay. He has a really well-timed jump, and he ends up... Oh, okay. So Pershik ends up on the other side of the wall because he completes his dash. That's well-timed by Doran on the jump. Means he gets out and he's not full comboed. Okay, well played in terms of like delaying that combo. I think that BDD puts himself into some really good positions though to force out stuff from Doran, potentially killing him as well. Okay, so now you have... Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, what did Zeka just sell? So he has Blade now. So he doesn't have GA, he has Jack Show. Yeah, he sold his GA for a Jack Show. Wait, he got a Blade as well. What the flip? Wait, when did he get that? What else did he sell? Did he have Blade already? How long does he have Blade? Did he have... So he had more before this. Okay. That's fine. Okay, he's had Blade for a while, yeah. He sells his GA for a Jack Show. And that means that he's actually much harder to immediately burst out, but then he doesn't have the second life. Okay. That's okay. Force of Nature on Doran gives him some extra movement speed to run away in a side lane. Just kind of important, but then also it's not the best MR item, but... And this, we already saw this, where he manages to like space out the engage really well, the combo very well. Speed it up again. HLE, you can see that they can play a lot more aggressively now that Talia ult's down. Now Talia ult is down, it makes it much easier for them to play about the place. The fact that Doran didn't die means that they have all 5 members available. They have teleport on Doran as well. They don't have to be worried about the Vitalia flying out of nowhere, but it's a low cooldown. So BDD has it back already, and now you have to see that HLE kind of clump up. And so as soon as the Talia ult is back up, KT are looking for a play. HLE need to be clumped up. So that's another ult to force out Alistar's ult. Alistar's ult is still running, but it's off now. So you get... How are they not managing to get this combo completely right at the time? Guess the teleport out. Flash in from Barrel, but his ult is now down. How much can they do? Viper's still alive. Delight gets a delaying ult onto Perfect. So he saves Doran here. The Q hits him. Mega Knob. Zeka! Yeah, you have no frontline ults now. How much value can Daft get? He gets a Q there. But he doesn't have a... not having Ghost really hurts Daft actually, because he can't follow up and actually like chase down the fight. What do I think about funneling stacks onto Daft instead of giving gold to Vi Aatrox? Well, sadly, I don't think... With the way that Perfect's playing, I don't think it matters if he has gold or not. He's really struggled to get into like genuinely damaging positions. In terms of Vi, GA would actually be quite helpful on him. But I think that Vi's kind of in a weird position right now because she doesn't have like the same kind of Divine Sundra kind of plus Black Cleaver plus Steric's kind of power spike that she used to have. She does scale pretty well, but it's not fantastic. Zeka and Viper can two-man this. They're giving up Elder for Baron. Why the fuck does this happen? When they lose their smite, Perfect's down. Yes, they can't contest on the same objective. I think, in a lot of ways, I feel like Deft is the one person who can consistently do damage because of the rapid fire cannon. So having a load of stacks, it does mean... He's even sold his boots for Navori so he can get even more cooldown. Navori, it does mean that he's playing so much around his E, and you don't have Ghosts. I get what you don't have. I get what you have Cleanse, because you need Cleanse for, like, Flash, Rakan, Sejuani, Gnar ult, even the Varus ult, right? As well, all of those things are very valid, and even just a couple of them would have potentially justified it. But now you have 0 mobility, and Deft I don't think has been positioning fantastically, or at least Tanmo Life haven't been stacking well. It's a bit of both, right? I think Deft has sometimes not been positioning to get damage particularly well, which I understand to a degree, because if you die, things are very awful. But on the other side, I think HLE have also been denying good range for Deft to get damage. It feels like the only way that he's getting Qs off is if the engage is already happening. So he can't get like these passive Qs, and whereas Viper gets to stand at longer range. Good burn damage. Yeah. Yeah, his Q is doing a just so ridiculous amount of work. So you have Elder, so that also means his Q procs the Elder Dragon burn. You have Talia ult again. So you have Talia Vi combo ready and waiting, which is kind of disgusting. Jackshaw built up, of course, for the owner. We already talked about that. We have a Umbral Glaive built as last item from Viper to get some vision control, which is interesting. He's trusting it. I think Varus needs less movement speed to position well because he has longer range and his Q is just untargeted. Obviously, it means that if Aatrox ever finds you, you die. But if the fight happens away from the Varus and the Smolder, the Varus is more likely to impact the fight because he's longer range, even without boots. Okay, they're diving the turrets. They have Barrel's ult if they need to, but he just goes away with his Aftershock. He's level 16. Alistair is getting to be super, super annoying now. Ooh, ult just about misses Deft. Would have been nice to blow a cleanse there if possible. Viper's ult's been very good this game, actually. 3,000 damage from Deft? When does it start tracking? How much does he get? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look where he gets that 3,000 damage from. Okay, it starts to burn onto... Oh, he gets a Q onto Doran and onto Peanut. Jesus Christ, that's like 1 Q on 2 targets. What? Smolder's late game damage is absolutely insane. Okay. I think he's just trying to stop resets with that, maybe. But why would you do that? I mean, it's a low cooldown. Why not, I guess? It keeps the it would keep the Elder ticking on them if it was up, but I don't think it was at that point. Okay, now we've got GA for Perfect. You have so many items for BDD. Terminus built up. Wait, hang on a second. So he's sold Blade for Terminus now as Zeka. So Zeka's got more Shred and more Resists, but less percent HP and less Lifesteal. So he doesn't have Lifesteal now unless it's in Runes. Okay. Fair play, I guess. More attack speed. Well, no, the attack speed's about the same, I think. Blade gives you a lot of attack speed. Looks insane if Senna is banned, I guess. In LPL, Senna hasn't beaten Smolder in front to back. Not really. Because it feels like Smolder just eventually kills your front line better than the Senna can, and if you trade ult for ult, it still feels like Senna doesn't have uncontested like ult through the team fight either. Also, Smolder's ult is way lower cooldown than Senna's, so you get to use it more often for the snap fights. Getting to the point where you have a load of items on supports too now, which is something. Oh my god, just... Okay, so that's 1 arrow onto BDD. Owie, that's nasty. And he doesn't have any sustain. It's 1 Q the other way. And the W blows the spell shield as well. Jesus, 1 Q takes Zeka down to like... 2/3 HP through Jackshaw and Terminus and more. Well, the more is different resists, but Jesus, man. So Doran has GA now. He has that up and available. He has Flash. KT, they just went towards topside jungle to see if there was a cross map they can make. We haven't seen a Vitalier combo in a little while. Partly because HLE are grouping up a lot more. They haven't really been splitting quite as much, and you can see that they're just kind of deathballing again. So Zeka just TP'd back, and he sold his boots for GA, which has come off a cooldown. Single Q hits. Deft is playing around hype long range, waiting until he can get the next fire cannon up. E hurts. Varus E very hurts, but he has lifesteal, so he just hits away once and he gets it back. Right. Is there any kind of flank, or are we just going straight down the middle again? Ah, I didn't get Viper. You can't spell shield Viper. You can't spell shield that if I wouldn't have caught Viper anyway, because you need to hit him with the head button then the pole. Oh, no, wait, maybe his E would have... No, you have to activate the E immediately, though. That's really not great from Barrel, actually. And now you... Does he pop his ult for this too? No, he doesn't. So his ult's not been popped, which is good, I suppose. Now you've got Zeka who can just like continually stack his Q here. He can get himself some... does he have lifesteal? Maybe a little bit. He has a little bit of lifesteal, but it's not really that much. Delight's now on flank. He has flash. He has this. Again, it feels like KT around some of these fights, they're really... Oh, I mean, Delight's just got into backline now. BDD's ult is not fantastic. Barrel's going to die for free. Late game's Alistar ult does a huge amount. Minions are killing the turret. Zeka has GA, and he gets onto Deft. So how much is Deft doing in this fight, actually? Okay. So Deft has used his E now. He gets hit. Wait, what does he get hit by something here? No, he doesn't. I was wondering if he got hit by the back end of the Sejuani W. It's an arrow which happens. Barrel's ult's worn off. There is an exhaust. The exhaust goes onto Deft, which is important. But not having Ghost in these fights sucks, man. He doesn't have boots. He doesn't have Ghost. How the fuck does Rakan get that? What? Zeka gets to stack up his Q again on Elder. Rakan kills it with a max level W. Perfect doesn't get onto... Viper is completely untouched this entire fight. Are you kidding me? Look at the amount of damage Viper does here too. He's maxed out his E as well. His E W and Q is nasty. Two-man combo. Viper dodges the combo. Gets 3 stacks from Halo Blades. Gets a full Q onto Beryl and gets a Q onto Deft as well. Deft isn't can't DPS. Another arrow lands onto Deft. E doesn't hit, but that's because he goes into GA. Misses 1 arrow there. Viper gets another... Viper gets a lot of auto attack uptime for a lethality virus, folks. Viper has an insane fight here, by the way. Jesus Christ, he gets 11,000 damage. Oh my god. But like a lot of this is because KT, they flubbed the engage and the Smolder roll at the start of this. So, Elixir of Iron is actually giving them a lot of extra movement speed. Doran has GA anyway. He could have flashed out after, I suppose, and saved it for then. Peanuts used his ult, so you don't have that at least. But like, yeah, I think this is just a bit of Viper diff, isn't it? As well at the end of this. I think that not having boots or ghost on Smolder really hurts in a game like this, because you're outranged to a point, and also this wall does not help. What is BDD doing? BDD's trying to section off a fight. But like, what kind of ult should he do? Because the problem is, if he backs off here, if he just puts a wall down, then he has to ride it, because if he doesn't ride it, he has to walk around here, and that's going to take him like another 5 seconds or so, 5-6 seconds, even with the wall walking passive working on the wall walking. So he has to take it in. So he can't take it too close to the enemy, because then he'd have to hop off into the middle of them or like immediately Zonya. So he kind of wants to put it closer to here, so he's closer to his team, but that means that it's less likely to actually split the team fight than the way that he wants to. Delight gets the engage first. That ult isn't great. That's a bad ult from BDD. The minefield's okay. Yeah. I mean, it stops like Zeka getting an ult over the top of them or some shit immediately. But like, think about this, right? Daft is trying to play around, not having movement speed, because he doesn't have Ghost, he doesn't have Boots, he doesn't have, yeah. He doesn't have movement speed. He doesn't have something like a Karma to speed him up either, which we've seen in the LPL a bit. And then he gets zoned off by the wall. And then the first time he really gets to do much in this fight after that point is when he gets completely burst out by Zeka. The only reason he lives is because of the exhaust. Goes out. Wait, what does he go down to the GA? How does he get killed here? So what happens here? So Elder goes down. Who hits him? Oh, it's just like another stone. Right, okay, BDD gets it. Yeah. No, it's not a stone. Not a stone, rather. Oof. Oof. Yeah, Def just can't do shit here. I think that it might have been a mistake giving up Boots. And I get why you need Cleanse. But it sucks not... I mean, could you have just gone Mikhail's? I guess you can't because early game, then the level 6 and the level 6 is too problematic. But if you had Ghost and Boots, it's so much easier for Deft to play the game. Maybe if you pick a comp with so much CC that Deft can't, that Smolder can't have any mobility. Because you have to go towards Cleanse, you can't go towards Ghost. Maybe that's the way you can make him uncomfortable. I don't think it wins the game. I think there are some earlier game fights in the mid game, and well, into late game, it's a 55-minute game. I think there are some times where there was one fight where Draft trolled, one dragon fight. Another dragon fight where his team kind of trolled him. Yeah. That was a tough game for a Smolder in a lot of ways. Because there's no tank you can just ping for forever and just get infinite DPS on. Sejuani gets to engage from a mile away with ult. Rakan is flashing onto you. He's not, like, getting huge... Yeah. Oh, Dandy, shit. I didn't realize Dandy was on the coaching stuff. Damn. Yeah. It's... So, even when you have Fire Cannon, it's harder to get big Q up time. But even then, I think that KT did a little bit of the trolling there. Just a little bit.